As many people know right now, the Sedgwick County government is now going through their budget processing to where they're looking at next year's budget and what priorities they have. And I've been asked on several occasions now that if I were in the room, what would be top of mind for me? What would be my areas of focus? So I want to give you just a few things that in my mind really matter and should be areas of focus in this budget conversation. The first is stability. Is we need stability in county functions. As most people have heard, that there is a staffing crisis with Sedgwick County. Many people saw what took place last year with EMS. I'm not confident in the stability of county fire moving forward. Many people know that we have a mental health crisis and it's worsening by the day, and yet we have a staffing crisis at ComCare. And then the detention facility. You know, there are some estimates that we're down nearly 90 positions at the Sedgwick County Jail. We have 1,600 inmates, 120 plus murder suspects, and yet we are understaffed in the county jail. All of this is happening with the backdrop of inflation. It's a challenge. It's a very complex challenge with county government right now, and we need to, step number one is find stability. So how do you do that? Well, you do it with competitive wages. Right now, many of these individuals that work for the county can go to private sector or even go to other government agencies and make anywhere from 8 to 15% more. That's not competitive and it's not sustainable. So we need to find stability with competitive wages first. But when we do that, we show the people that work for the county in public safety and in public works and in public health, we show them that they're valued. When you work for an establishment, when you work for an organization where you know you're valued, it impacts the performance of your job. Step number one, rule number one, the primary focus in budget, if I was in the room, would be to find stability. The second thing that needs to be top of mind is we need to be aware of our challenges and the things that are impacting our community. At the forefront of that really is a mental health crisis. Is we have got to find a way to get some of these plans better communicated so our community knows what it is we're working on. That has been one of my chief frustrations. Is there really are some viable plans that have been discussed, but if you were to ask 99 out of 100 people in our community what's going on, they couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you the difference between a regional mental health hospital. They couldn't tell you what's happening at ComCare with a crisis center that we have funding set aside for. We've had a lot of talk about a social hub, a campus of sorts, but nobody knows the difference between that and a behavior science center that might be a cooperative with KU in Wichita State. All these ideas are floating, but nobody's communicating to the public so that they understand the difference and understand which domino really needs to fall first. What it's going to take is leadership. What it's going to take is a clear vision to our community so that we can rally, support, and get this across the finish line. So mental health has to remain focused. And the other thing that has to be top of mind is the economic state of our community. Inflation is crippling some industries. It's crippling some households. Small business owners, those of our working class, some of our people that are on fixed income, they are really being challenged with this inflationary environment. And what we cannot do at this point in time, although we are working hard at the county to reinforce and stabilize county functions, what our people cannot afford right now is a tax increase. We have got to keep the mill levy intact. And just simply because of higher appraised values, they're going to see more revenue to the county general fund. So we've got to be selective, we've got to communicate well, and we've got to make sure that our budget reflects our priorities. And that's how I would lead. That if I was in the room right now, these are the areas of focus that we need. But primarily, more than anything, what we need is leadership. We need clear vision, clear focus, and leadership in the room. We do that, better days are ahead for Sedgwick County.